In our last episode, we had a van adventure on the Baja with our good friend Marga. This time around, we leave La Paz behind and start our exploration of the Sea of Cortez by having an epic drag race and stopping at one of my favorite places on the face of the earth. After a couple of good weeks spent in La Paz, we finally broke free and we were out of there. And I gotta say, it felt pretty great to be moving again. Adios, La Paz. We're out of here. But it was great while it lasted. But I gotta tell you, today's a pretty exciting day for a couple of reasons. First, because we're going farther north up into the Sea of Cortez, and I love the Sea of Cortez. It's gorgeous, so I'm pretty excited to get back up there. But even more so, it's because my old friend Ken's here. He's on his boat just over here off to starboard, and it's pretty great having friends around, especially one that goes back for a long, long ways. I've known Ken for almost 25 years, and for those 25 years, we've spent the majority of it racing. But the biggest thing right now is that this is an official rematch. The last time Ken and I raced against each other, where we were both skippers, mano-a-mano, on our own boats, was almost 15 years ago. And we smoked him, killed him. He was left in the dust. And as any good friend would do, I rub it in every time I see him. Right now, we're reigning champions. So, rematch, it's a big deal. Pretty excited about it. I'm really excited about it!
Everyone goal today, beat Ken.
With a building breeze and my old friend Ken being a stiff competition, Brenda had to take matters into her own hands and basically do all the work. Well, I gotta say, this is some pretty great sailing. The wind's actually piped up a bit. We got about 22 knots of apparent breeze. Brenda actually put a reef in the main, and I watched, which is great, because I'm really excited. I can't be bothered with doing stuff like that. And we got good snacks. Brenda found us a baguette right before we left La Paz. This is like gold. It's hard to come by. But the reason I'm so excited is Ken keeps getting smaller back there. You're not gonna live this one down ever. Welcome to cruising life and racing a boat with a racing stripe. And with Ken firmly left in the dust, well, the captain could finally take a break and let me have a little fun too. Since everyone knows a racing stripe never takes a break, with our friends on Sherpa up ahead, we had our sights set on a new target. Adios, amigos. Well, we made it. It's Ensenada del Candeleros, and this place is gorgeous. But the best part of all is that Ken's nowhere to be seen. We blew him away. Sorry, Ken. You're no match for the racing stripe. Better luck next time. But nice job out there. You look pretty good anyways. And I'm actually really thrilled you're here. Can't beat this place, especially with some good friends around. Ensenada del Candeleros, is one of the multitude of anchorages within easy sailing distance of La Paz. And it's got just about everything a cruiser could want, from amazing scenery to snorkeling to even some hiking trails up in the hills. But today, what made this place so great was the fact that my old friend Ken was here, and he just happened to show up about an hour after us. But unfortunately, as beautiful and as peaceful as this night started out to be, it didn't last for long. And shortly after the sun went down, the wind picked up and we had a pretty bouncy night. Well, that was a pretty rough night. It was supposed to be a calm night, not so much. This area of the Sea of Cortez, this time of year, is known for Coromel winds. And last night we got sort of hammered by them. The forecast actually said we were supposed to have a pretty nice mellow night, which is why we anchored where we did, but not so much. But tonight, they're actually forecasted to get pretty rowdy. So, rather than sit around here and take another beating, we're going to move on, sail north up to a place called Isla San Francisco, and hope for a little better protection from these Coromel winds. But I think maybe in the next episode or so, we'll maybe have a little talk about weather. But right now, we're getting out of here. And so, we hopped on the remainder of those Coromel winds and had a pretty ripping sail up to Isla San Francisco, which just happens to be one of my favorite places on the face of the earth. And after a quick handful of hours of pretty great sailing, we got ourselves tucked up in the northeast corner of the island, and then we were off to explore. Since this island has one of the best views in the entire Sea of Cortez, we rounded up our friend Joe from the boat Sherpa, and we were headed for the top. And once you get to the tippity top, that's where one of the most perfect bays in the entire world comes into full view. Well, we made it to Isla San Francisco last night, yesterday afternoon, whatever. But this is one of my favorite spots on Earth. I've told the story before, but if you're new to this is a place when I first started dreaming about cruising, like almost 25 years ago. I saw a sailing magazine with a picture of this island with the lone sailboat anchored in this southern bay. It's gorgeous. So, at that point, I said, I've got to get there. I don't care how long it takes me, I've got to get there. We got there a handful of years ago, but it's still, every time we come here, I still think it's incredible. I really think it's one of the most beautiful spots on the face of the earth, especially if you climb up to the peak at sunset. Can't beat it. It's amazing. And for me, I think the southern bay especially is the iconic anchorage in the Sea of Cortez. If you, for some reason, came sailing to Mexico and only could stop at one place, that's the place I'd tell you to go. But for me, seeing that magazine article all those years ago, while I was struggling through the grind, just trying to make it till the day we actually left to go cruising, that bay is where I envisioned myself which helped me get through the Seattle traffic grind when I was clutching the steering wheel, fighting off road rage. This is the place that did it for me. So it's pretty cool to come back here and see it, especially since my old friend Ken's here with us. It's pretty great. So we're going to be here for a couple of days. Do all the things you do here. Hike to the top, do some snorkeling, play around. Just have some fun. Here's to Isla San Francisco. A sunset from the top of Isla San Francisco is a sight to see. And since the sun was going down, we were heading up. But even though we lugged our cameras and gear all the way to the tippity top of the island, sometimes it's just nice to take in your surroundings with an old friend, soak it all in, turn off the cameras, and have a moment for ourselves. So I hate to say it, if you're hoping for a sunset from the top of this island, you're gonna have to get there yourselves. Because this one, it was just for us. But that's about it for this episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.